And we are now live. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for another live stream. I am Kelsey D. Crawford. With me today is the lovely Geo, creator of the webcomic Tukk Rol. How have things been, my dude?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, do you want to show off your book since you have it in hand right now?
Oh, we got a whole stream to show it off. I just wanted to show it that I got it over here.
Okay, because I also have copies over here, my dude. But I was like, hey, if we're starting, we can do that now.
Well, a lot of those are in bubble wrap.
Well, I unwrapped them, so I wanted to be prepared in case I had to bundle up anything right away.
True.
Yeah. I also recently got, I'll go ahead and highlight these. Because these got a little bit delayed from the printer, but we got these tote bags.
Oh, yeah.
Designed
the ramen one.
Yes, they're designed by Gregory Holmes. We have these in the black design as well as I was told that they were white, but they're actually more of a neutral tone. I will show off what I mean. There it is. Kind of a off-white creamy color.
Mm-hmm.
Still very cool, though. So we got this. And those are available at the Fantasyville pop-up shop. The link is on the screen. Crowdfunder.com/FVillePopShop. I dabbed in the wrong direction. It's this way. But yes, these totes will be there. Tukk Rol will also be there, available in digital and physical format, as well as in Spanish.
Yep.
Yes, I wanted to ask, what inspired you to get the book translated into Spanish?
Well, I was checking my demographics on my site, and it was like, I got a decent portion from Mexico. And I was like, maybe I should do something about that. Do you know? Help it to where those people could view it a bit better in case they don't speak as much English.
Heck yeah. Good.
Doing the same thing with Portuguese right now, because I have people from Brazil who enjoy the comic, and I was like, well, why don't I just do the same thing there?
Heck yeah. It's amazing.
But
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, funny story about the Brazilian Portuguese translation. That I'm in works with the translator right now.
Okay.
They're more than a translator; they're more like a localizer as well, because there's a lot of slang, because it's from the early 2000s, late 90s. So there's a lot of slang in there. They have to work around, because American slang isn't always easily to transfer to another language.
Right. There's a little bit that, like, there's cultural context that needs to be accounted for.
Right. There's also, so one of the main titular characters, Rol, her full name is Rola.
Okay.
Well, that is actually slang for something naughty in Brazilian Portuguese.
And you did not know this.
I did not know until I was talking to the translator, and he was like, hey, does Rol have a different name? And I was like, yeah, there's Rol and there's Rola. That's her. She prefers to go by Rol, though. And he's like, does she have a bigger name?
And that's when you pulled something out of your butt?
Yeah, that was something. Yeah, had to change it a little bit. Localize it, if you will. I prefer the term localize. It sounds fancier.
Yeah. It makes it sound like you're working on an anime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's Spanish and Portuguese. Are there any aspirations for other languages that you would want to translate this to?
I would have to say it would be languages that are. So a lot of the characters in the book, I base them off of, I wouldn't say marginalized, but I would say like a lot of different cultures that don't get a lot of spotlight.
Okay.
Like Hushan and Mongolian and such like that. So I think I would like to translate it into those languages, because I feel like if I'm going to have people from that culture in the book that they should have it in their own language. That should make sense.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
So I think I would next want to go with like maybe a Mongolian translation. That, and I just want to have fun with it. I want to be able to say like, oh, I've got this book in like few different languages, and like, wow, and it's like, yeah, really fun.
Yeah, that's really cool though. So actually, I wanted to ask, since I was just flipping through your book a few minutes ago, so what inspired the idea of Tukk Rol to begin with? What was the genesis?
Well, the genesis is, like most things in high school, steeped in cringe. I started Tukk Rol
from high school.
Yes, I started Tukk Rol in high school, believe it or not. I still have artifacts and artwork from back then, and they will stay artifacts hidden deep away.
Fair enough. We don't have to unearth that. Not unless it's like
when I didn't want to learn anatomy. What's anatomy? I just want to draw. I don't want to have any formal training. I can draw really good now. Watch me throw this lens flare on there.
So these were like little notebook doodles then?
They started as little notebook doodles, and then I got a hold of GIMP, that old image processor, like the old. It was the free Photoshop before I guess other programs came out, before Crida and such like that. It was the program, you could tell that it was like, this is for touching up photos, and people were just like, nah, I'm gonna draw on this. And so I decided I was gonna draw on this, and it was
kudos to you for trying. Because I tried. It's not good for that.
No. But like most things when it comes to my artistic career, I like to ram my head at stuff until it works. Okay. And that's how I did with GIMP. I ran my head. It was only at, I want to say 2017, 2018? 2018 or 2019 is when I switched over to Clip Studio.
Gotcha. Okay. I was about to ask about that transition. That makes sense.
Yeah. It was like, oh, this is how a drawing program's supposed to work? Oh, wow. Okay. That's neat.
Time to pay the cat tax. Oh. I don't know if you heard that.
I barely heard it.
Yeah. She was walking past me, and I could tell by the way that she was walking past my chair, it was like, you're either going to start pacing like a little shark because you want to jump up into my lap, or you want me to scoop you. So, yeah, one of the two.
Yeah, I've got a cat at my feet right now, and it's occasionally looking up, and I'm like, maybe in a little bit, but let me get my talk over first.
Well, it's okay if the fur babies want to cuddle. But check one off for live stream bingo.
Well, we recently just adopted 2 kittens, and they don't understand being like gentle climbing yet. So when they climb, it's like Simba, or like it's like I just blanked on his name.
From what movie?
Simba's dad.
Mufasa?
Mufasa. Yeah, it's like Mufasa grabbing on the cliff in Lion King to get up, and that's how they climb. So
yeah. Well, how old are the kittens now?
I want to say they're just a couple weeks.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, we found them behind a Dairy Queen, and it was just like, I got something for you to eat better than hot dogs.
Yeah. I love these kinds of stories about adopting cats, because somebody online brought up that like adopting a dog is like, oh, we had to baby proof everything in the house. We prepared for months to get ready for this new puppy. Whereas like cat owners are like, yeah, I found this cat behind the Dairy Queen.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yep. It's actually today is actually Mooney's Gotcha Day. Today, this day last year was the day that Alex found him stranded in the middle of the road, and she came and rescued him and picked him up, and he's been with us ever since.
Oh,
Yeah, he's being surprisingly well behaved today. I'm kind of surprised by that.
suspicious.
I'm a little sus, not gonna lie, but he's being very well behaved, all things considered. But now you have a gotcha day for the 2 new fur babies in your life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to come up here?
Are we about
Are you coming up, or you just pawing at me?
Are we?
I've got the cat off-screen cat. As you know, there's always off-screen cat.
Always, yeah. Mooney is the off-screen cat. People only know of his existence because of my Blue Sky photos.
Yeah, I've been seeing those.
Yeah. How are you liking Blue Sky so far?
I like it. I generally don't click too often, or I've never really clicked with social media. I don't really fiddle with it too much.
Fair, yeah.
But I like Blue Sky. It seems pretty nice. And I can get on there and not get mad. like some other social media sites just want you to just get on there, and it's immediately just get mad. Here's something for you to be mad at, and I'm just like, can I just get on here and like see how my friends are doing?
Yeah. The funny thing is that like even if there is something like that, because this happened this morning to me, I was like kind of scrolling through and I saw somebody just being absolutely rage-inducing, and I'm like, unfollow. I'm not gonna give them any comment, no context. I'm just gonna unfollow, and now they're not on my dash anymore. It's delightful.
Yes, I love that it doesn't like push that kind of interaction.
Yeah, I love that. I also love that it's not like this account is recommended for you or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's like something that just like it's pulled buzzwords from your conversations and been like, oh, this person doesn't like this. Let me recommend them this.
Yeah, Blue Sky does not do that, thankfully.
No, I like it.
Yeah, I really like that. It's nice and chill. So I'm hoping to keep it nice and chill over there. Yeah, I'm changing up my approach to social media lately, but we can talk about that later. So question for you about Tukk Rol. So I have the first volume here, and you have the first volume to show off. So how much of the webcomic is in volume 1? Is this like half of the story? Is this the first quarter? How much of the story is print and how much is on the website?
So it's kind of like a paradox because there's half of the story so far in this book. So almost like 200 pages.
Okay.
But there's more in this book than there is online. Because there's a book exclusive chapter that's only in the book. It's not online.
Ooh, so there you go, folks. Something exclusive for the print version. You get a whole additional chapter that is not available for free. That's actually a really good incentive. Good job, sir.
Yeah, if I get some sales, I could probably get that ramen book. So please buy the book so I can buy the ramen one.
Available in digital and print. Just throwing that out there. And it's available
so
now
I can get some prints too.
Yeah, it's shilling. Yes.
But yeah, there is an exclusive side chapter in the book. It's titled The First Mystery, because the little theme is that the kids have this little mystery club. And so it details how that club came together and the first mystery they ever tried to solve.
Yeah. I was just flipping through it a minute ago, and I did see that there were those themes. Well, actually, wanted to ask, what other creative projects, etc., inspired the creation of Tuck and Roll? Because sometimes you can see, like, with some stories, you can tell, like, what other stories inspired it. Like, you can very obviously tell that The Hobbit is just Beowulf fan fiction. So stuff like that. So what kind of properties and like what influences went into Tuck and Roll?
Well, I would say a lot of just late 90s, early 2000s movies. I would occasionally just watch them to get how I would want the dialogue and the themes to go for each little chapter. Howard the Duck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have 2 copies of Howard the Duck on DVD. It's one of my movies.
You have 2? What's the difference between the 2?
So I got 2 because I bought one and then somebody gifted me one, and I was like, oh, now I have 2.
Yeah, there you go. So now you have a copy to lend out to people, and you can still have your favorite.
I prefer it as like I have a backup copy in case this one gets broken or something.
That too. That could also work.
But some other, I guess it would just be Tuck's growing up would be just how I experienced growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s. To be honest, that's not how the book always was. Tuck and Roll has evolved quite a bit since high school. High school, it was very different. They had superpowers. It was weird.
So what prompted you to remove the superpowers from the story then?
I started reading more slice of life comics. Some of them that I read then and was like, as a teenager, this is cool. And then now I'm looking back at it as an adult and I'm more like, there was some, don't put that in there. Because it was the early 2000s, the wild west of the internet. So there was a lot of different media out there that's like, this is cool. It was cool for a teenager, but then like you look at it at it later on and you're like,
oh, this aged like milk.
Oh, this aged worse than milk. This was yogurt before, and now it's aged like yogurt.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm picturing it now. I think
so. Yeah, I don't know if I should.
To mind, but yeah.
I don't know if I should explain all the different things that were inspirations that aren't in the book now, but were artistic inspirations at least.
So what would be the like new things that made you go, how about I include this instead?
Thinking there was some artwork done by his name is Kid Jaspering.
Okay.
And he's an anthro artist, and it's a little bit dicey. He does a lot of different artwork, but it's really great. I like looking at it.
I'll have to check that
out. It's good artwork. I would also say, I'm trying to think of some more inspirations. Usually I just ram my head at things.
You just come up with an idea and then you just like keep running at the wall to try to fix it.
Or I'll just I'll do the thing where I just blast some music and pace back and forth and think of a certain story idea and just how I can shove that in.
Gotcha. So you wouldn't be the kind to have like a how-to craft books or how to write books on hand then? You're just like,
I have read how-to books. I actually have The Essentials. Ooh. Scott McCloud.
Good choice. Yeah, I have a copy of Making Comics, actually signed by Scott McCloud in the other room.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he was a guest speaker at Bowling Green State University my freshman year, I want to say, because they were doing a special exhibit for comics in one of the galleries that year. It was really cool.
Is that Bowling Green, Ohio, or Bowling Green, Kentucky?
Ohio.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I'm from Kentucky, so I'm like, where was this at? I wanted to do this.
Not in Kentucky, my dude. Sorry. Okay, so quick question, since you brought up that you're from Kentucky. I met you through the Columbus Cartoon Coalition. That's how we know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So what prompted the move from Kentucky to Columbus, if you don't mind my asking?
Kentucky.
Fair. I've been to Kentucky.
When I got out of high school, I immediately got my first job and didn't spend any of my money until I had exactly enough to move out of Kentucky, and then I did.
Legit. Yeah.
I don't really like to down talk a lot of different places because there's always greatness in everywhere you go. But specifically the area of Kentucky that I lived in, there was nothing for me there. It was not going to be, I was going to be working at Dollar General the rest of my life, and it wasn't going to be fun. So I was like, I'm going to move back up to Ohio, because I lived in Ohio when I was younger, before high school.
Okay.
So I have friends here, and I've had childhood friends here. So I just moved up here immediately. Was just like at the spry young age of 18, immediately just dipped.
Yeah.
Fit everything I could in my little Honda.
Those are sturdy birdies.
Yeah. Mine finally killed out. It was a 93.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
my birth year.
Wow, and it only just now died?
No, it died, I want to say 3-4 years ago.
Wow. That's a tough bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had a Honda once, but we had that thing for like the longest time before it died out. And its engine also was just like, I can't, and just stopped.
Right.
Was that what happened with yours? The engine was just like, I can't.
I think it was just a combination of the multiple things that I did to it, because when I came up to Ohio, I ran my head against things until it worked, and I did some irreparable damage to it.
Okay.
Because I had common sense thought of how I could fix a problem with the engine, but not like actual mechanical knowledge. So
oh dear.
It was overheating. My Honda was overheating, and I was like, okay, how do I fix it from overheating? Well, if I just like prop the hood up a little bit, that'll get some airflow in there, right? When I'm driving. Well, it got airflow in there.
Okay.
And then when I was on the highway, it got a lot of airflow in there. And the hood went onto the windshield.
Like it would.
And then the engine block broke. From the heat.
Yeah, because it's sorry, just okay. Very little common sense. Just do it. That was my action. That was my thought process. Just get it done. Okay. Maybe this is just how very different our upbringings are, but yeah, this is like this strikes me as the same level of story as John Green admitting that when he was first dating his soon-to-be wife, that he was like, I did not wash my towels because I thought that the act of wiping down my wet body after a shower was enough to wash them. And my soon-to-be wife stared at me in horror. It strikes me as like a very similar vein as that kind of a story. Yeah, like you could understand the weird, the logic behind it, no matter how flawed it is. Like but it's also like, oh, we babies, yeah, this is the doings of a 20-something man.
Right.
Sorry, I don't mean to judge. It's just
No. I wholeheartedly look back at that and I'm like, you were. Oh my gosh.
it's at least a funny story.
Yes. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, are we about
Tell
to
me
get?
a little-
Are we about to make the fur tax? Are we about
Yes.
to make pet tax?
He's meowing at me.
Hi, baby. Oh goodness. Hello, baby. Oh, no wonder they're so loud. It's a little Siamese.
Yeah. This is how big they are. So they're just a couple weeks.
Oh goodness. I remember when Mooney was that little. Oh. Oh, fur
So that's
baby.
Dune.
Hi, Dune. Goodness.
He's my little Doom buggy or Doom buddy. I use it interchangeably.
Oh, goodness. I can't even. So cute.
Yeah,
Oh, I
screaming.
heard that.
Yeah, he's in the phase where he just looks at me and screams sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
as cats do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Still discovering his meow, so he's just like occasionally look at me and like, let me try it now.
Perfect. Oh, goodness.
But back to comic talk.
Yes.
We've explained my lack of knowledge when it comes to vehicles.
These segues happen. It's fine. It's what happens when you get on a live stream with me. We get on unusual tangents. So you showed off the Scott McCloud book earlier. Do you have other comics or other books about the craft of making art? And if you do, would you be comfortable sharing some of those?
I probably do. They're packed up. If you can't see in the background, I've still got some U-Haul boxes. We're still moving into the place here.
Oh yeah, you mentioned you moved. Yeah.
Yep. I'm still in Ohio, so I'm not like outside of that area. I'm in Lima now.
Gotcha. Work related or something else?
I'm moving. I'm now living in a mother-in-law suite.
Oh.
At my mom's. Well, it's a separate house. You know how mother-in-law suites are. It's a separate house, but it's got like a little interconnected breezeway and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's the one house that I rented back when I lived in St. Clairsville was a lot like that. It was actually built as a mother-in-law suite for my neighbor's house, but it just got sold as a separate unit.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, and we're here now for having a baby. So
heck yeah! So
yep.
Was this a planned or a surprise?
This was planned.
Okay. Yep. Good.
Yep, we planned for little Luna.
Mm-hmm. Well, congrats, and congrats to your partner as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. We can talk about that off stream. We don't have to go too much into it because your personal business is your own. But do you think that's going to like shape the narrative of your comic at all? Like, how close are you to finishing this story?
Well, Tukk Rol is 8 arcs long, and we're now on arc 2. So there's still quite a bit of room for influences like that. Yeah, but there is a lot. There are a lot of influence. There are a lot of like parental themes in the comic already.
Yeah.
And like. Both sides of like the rebellious kid and then like stop hitting my tassels.
Never. They are.
He's off screen. He's just doing his own thing off screen. He's either eating my headphone cable or messing with my tassel. So I guess I'll sacrifice the tassel.
Yeah, he is baby. He is going to cause chaos.
I just a baby. Have you seen that TikTok?
Oh man, it's been a hot second since I logged on to TikTok after the Inktober challenge.
there's this little one where it's just like this woman is like trying to talk to her daughter, supposedly her daughter, and she's like, you have to go over there, and the little girl's like, I'm just a baby, I'm just a baby.
I'm picturing the age of this kid already because I know what age kids start talking like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But there's already some of those themes going on in the comic. In arc 1 even. Porter, who is Tukk, the titular character's father, is having a lot of issues, not only just like learning how to be a dad after not being one, but how to balance his job as a geologist and keeping his son safe from his job as a geologist.
Yeah, as a geologist. I'm only about partway through the book actually, so like don't spoil it yet.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure you've already gotten to the beginning part of like the joke where he's like, "Oh, what's in your bag?" And he's like, it's obviously like a gun-shaped bag.
It's a very shaped bag, and it's like, what's in there?
Really long rock.
Yeah, it's a very long rock. Don't ask any further questions. Yeah, that implication. Totally get that. Yeah, it's funny because I was, like I said, I'm about partway through it already. And already I can definitely tell the like late 90s vibe that you're going for.
Well, I actually the font has been improved since the first iteration you read. I don't know if it's that noticeable, but it was a critique I got that the font wasn't really all there.
Gotcha. So this is a different print run than the first one from GalaxyCon that I saw?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks. This is a book with updated lettering to it, so
updated lettering.
Even more reason to get you a copy of Tukk Rol, which I'm holding upside down. Hold on. Aha!
I'll hold it upside down. You can get both views.
Yeah!
My favorite thing about the book still is that the printer did is actually make it look like it's notebook paper on the sides. That's my favorite bit about this.
I love that touch, by the way. I love that it looks like it's in a composition notebook. It's great.
That was the whole plan, but I didn't even know that they could do the whole like lined paperwork on the side as well. I think I'm going to experiment more with that in the second arc. I might have like doodles along the sides here and like pencil or something.
If you can pull that off, I would love to see it.
I mean, seeing it happen with this book is like certainly inspired me to try it.
Just curious, did you get that printed through? It's the company that I'm thinking of. Comics Wellspring.
Yes, I did.
Comics Wellspring is great, aren't they?
Yes, they were the people who I was recommended to work with them by my longtime friend Chad Perkins. He's a comic writer. He's done quite a few different great works. Blue Lullaby, Set the Hook is something he's working on at the current time, and then Sparkle Dog that I did the art for.
Nice. Gotta say, Sparkle Dog not available through the pop-up shop right now. Sorry, folks, but just the Tukk and
but
Rol.
if you need your fix, there's Tukk and Rol.
Well, maybe next year, depending on how this year goes. Yeah, depending on how this year goes. I mean, we have other stuff besides Tukk and Rol and the tote bags that I showed off earlier.
Oh yeah, stuff that I'm only wanting you guys to buy Tukk and Rol so I can buy the other stuff in the shop. So like, help me feed my addiction.
Yes.
You guys see what's all in the shop. It's all good stuff. I need to buy that stuff.
Oh, wait, I'm highlighting your Tukk Rol website. Hold on. There we go. Crowdfunder.com/FVille Pop Shop.
Buy the stuff at this website. Wait, no.
Buy the stuff at this website.
Yeah.
Link also in the doobly-doo. I'm actually going to be updating it pretty soon too. I forgot that one of my regular patrons, he backed my previous crowdfunder, and he got volume 1 instead of volume 2 of The Legend of Jamie Roberts. And I was like, are you sure you wanted this? And he was like, I thought I ordered volume 2. And I'm like, I checked it twice. You got volume 1, bud. And he was like, well, when are you going to have volume 2 again? And I'm like, I'll be putting it up on Crowdfunder, the Fantasyville Holiday Pop-Up Shop, pretty soon. So I'm going to see about doing that later this week.
Yeah, I would grab that. Jamie Roberts, I've read through Jamie Roberts 1, and it's amazing. I didn't buy it when I first read through it, and that is a great shame of mine. More shameful than the Honda went through the windshield incident. But that was quickly remedied at Space.
Yes, I remember. Yes. Y'all should justify the habit of Geo buying a copy of volume 2 by buying his book Tukk Rol at crowdfunder.com/FVille Pop Shop.
Cue in the Sarah McLachlan music. Just, would you help support this?
Help support this independent comic artist.
Every day a comic artist goes without reading a new comic. Won't you help a poor soul?
That's a meme. Brilliant. Oh my gosh. Yes. So I saw that Los has snuck into his seat. It's my good buddy the Los. He and I have known each other for a while. He's a cool dude. I highly recommend if you ever get a chance to hang out with him in the DC area, absolutely do so. He's usually my table helper at Small Press Expo.
All right. Well, whenever I get back into the con scene, I'm having to get adjusted into the gonna be a dad comic artist.
Yeah, that's going to change some things.
I mean, good news is that I use a tablet, so if the baby wants to throw food at the tablet, I can wipe it off the tablet. If it was traditional, it'd be like, oh well, I'm gonna have to integrate some banana pudding into the page. Gonna do some baby food tone work here.
Yep. Oh man. You know, I feel like I should recommend some like comics podcasts to you, because like there are comics podcasts that do talk about like balancing being a parent and making comics and everything else that's going on. I don't know if Comics Lab would be one of those. I haven't sat down to listen to Comics Lab yet, in full honesty. Probably Gutter Boys would have a special guest or two who would talk about this, I would imagine. Carlos, feel free to correct me, because you listen to Gutter Boys more than I do. But
wrote that down.
Make a note of some of the podcasts that I just mentioned.
Anytime I talk to somebody, I always have like a notepad up on one of my monitors, and I'm just like, notes from the call.
Yep, that's what this is. I have like, I call it my brain book. This is my second brain that I keep in a book. Different from
my brain book is my poor desktop that just has like 20 different notes that aren't really labeled properly.
But you find what you need when you need it.
I find what I need like later. I find what I needed for a previous thing later.
Well, eventually you will just ram your head at it until you figure out how to make it organized. I'm noticing. I'm not judging. It's just I know a couple of other comic artists who are a lot the same way. It's a method.
It's just how I do. Like when I was given the opportunity to buy a whole mall kiosk.
Wait, what? I've not heard this story. Go on.
I have a huge mall kiosk I bought.
Wait, you just have it?
Yeah, you know the Eastland Mall?
Vaguely?
Or at least you know of the Eastland Mall?
I know vaguely of the Eastland Mall, yeah. So
okay, it closed down.
Oh.
So they were having an auction.
Okay.
And I was like, look, my comic takes place in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's mall culture right there.
It is. It is, yeah.
So what if I just bought a whole mall kiosk and found a way to be able to take that to conventions? And I did.
Have you found a way to take it around?
Nope.
I was about to say those things are like I'm picturing the ones that are like the size of like my drafting table and the height of like from floor to ceiling kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has its own light system, power system.
Oh my gosh.
Everything.
Wow.
I paid $50 for it.
Wow. Honestly, kind of a steal.
Yeah, well, like nobody who bids on a mall kiosk, you know what I mean? Like
other than you? I don't know.
Other than me. I also got
one other person, but even then that's a big if.
But I got a mall kiosk. I have a iMac G3, you know those big bubble computers?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I got one of those, so that way I can load it up with some promotional stuff, and then put it on the mall kiosk, because the mall kiosk has a power system.
Wow!
I can just plug it into one of the cables on it, and then like really be like a blast from the past.
Wow, that's so cool.
I also got a vending machine.
Dude, you gotta find some way to take that to conventions.
Yeah, that's the good one. The best part about the vending machine though was that I actually almost got paid to get it.
Oh, what is the story behind this then?
So I saw a vending machine, as one does, for sale, as one does.
Was this also at the Eastland Mall?
No, this was actually a little bit before that.
Okay.
But I saw it for sale, and I was like, you know, that'd be cool at conventions. I could load it up with comic books and then like have it to where people could just like not like exactly buy it, because it was one of those like change ones. Oh. So I don't think somebody's going to be like, oh, I'm going to pay $20 in quarters for a comic book. Yeah, that's cool.
Right.
but at least have it to where it could be like, hey, pick one out, and then I could like just press the button to deploy it and have it to where I could just take out the change receiving. I can just make it to where it just dispenses comic books instead of like having to buy them. So have that novelty of like a whole vending machine type thing.
Yeah. And
so I go and I talk to the person. I pay him. I paid him $20 for this vending machine.
Dang.
Because he said it doesn't work. And I was like, okay, I'll see if I can fill around and fix it.
Okay.
I get there, it works. Much to the guy's surprise.
Huh.
He was specifically like, hey, this doesn't work. Watch, I'm gonna plug it up, and it immediately just turned on. And he was like,
and then you look at it, and he looks at you. And he looks at it, and he looks at you.
And fortunately, he didn't like try to upcharge me. He was like, you already paid for it, so like whatever.
Okay.
So I got this vending machine for $20. I had to go pick it up and stuff, but that's I'd say it's still a steal, because it's a
Yeah.
full-size vending machine.
Mhm.
Actually, it's in one of the pictures I sent as like my little profile thing to you.
Yes, I have it.
I've got it. I'm like leaned up against it.
I wondered what that was. That explains
Yeah,
a lot.
that's my vending machine I bought.
Amazing. Also, kudos for that guy for not upcharging you on that. That's really nice.
Yeah, I think he was just surprised that it worked in general. But that guy,
Mm-hmm.
he's an awesome guy, but he might be as a bit, I would say, I wouldn't say hard-headed, but scatterbrained as I am,
Okay.
because he left money in the vending machine.
Oh, did you make your money back?
I ended up only paying $7 for the vending machine.
Dope.
So for a fully
Amazing.
functional vending machine, I got it for $7.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So my eventual goal is to be able to find a way to take it to conventions, take
Mhm.
that, my mall kiosk,
Mm-hmm.
and my little iMac, load them all up, and then it just be like a little corner of like a mall inside of
Yeah.
like whatever we go to a convention.
I mean, you already had the fixins to be in the vendors hall and not just in the artist alley, like right there. Because most vendor halls that I've come across, they account for like, okay, these people are going to have these like props that are like the size of 10 people. Okay, we got to make sure we got the floor space for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, oh, just thinking about Folding Ideas on YouTube just released this like 8-minute video talking about something at the Warcraft convention, BlizzCon. I don't know if you saw that yet. It's only like 8 minutes, which is surprising compared to the rest of his videos, which are like
I was about to
an
say,
hour
yeah,
to 2
Folding
hours.
Ideas, I watched a few of his videos, and they're generally like video essays.
Yeah,
not
they're
so much
generally
like-
like documentaries, but this
Mhm.
one he posted recently was only like 8 minutes long. But it's about a thing that he really likes, because I know that he's a big Warcraft fan, or big World of Warcraft fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I've seen some of the when I was at the what was it called? Okay, I swear it's actually a convention. It's not something made up. It's called Really Cool Comic Con.
I remember you mentioning this before.
Yeah, that sounds like a convention out of like a Disney Channel original movie. Like,
It kinda
come on,
does.
guys, we got to go really cool Comic Con.
Yeah. Oh man, Steve McQueen's gonna be at Really Cool Comic Con or whatever. I don't know what Disney Channel stars are talking about with whatever
Halloween
guest
Town
they-
26.
Yeah. Basically.
Hocus Pocus 4.
Yeah. Yeah, and there has to be at least a 20-year gap between each Hocus Pocus movie, don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like required part of the franchise.
But at Really Cool Comic Con, there was this person who was selling Dakimuras,
What are those?
and they had them like to the roof almost. I don't know how they built it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
It was like those like the cages, the cages that artists will use to like hold stuff, to pin stuff to it.
Oh, that! Yes.
It was that, but almost to the roof.
Oh. I'm trying to think of how they would get that thing to stand.
They had like 3 levels of Dakimuras
Wow. Okay.
on display.
I'm trying to picture it and I just can't.
It was huge. It was huge.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did it either. It's like the bumblebee.
Yeah.
Physiologically, it shouldn't be able to fly. Physiologically, that thing shouldn't be able to stand, but it does.
Yeah. That is the wizardry of convention setups.
And they had a nostalgia critic Dakimura there that I found. Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, and I was like,
Was this in Chicago?
no, this was in Michigan.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, like in the glove part or in the part where all the serial killers come from?
mid-lower part.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm picturing it now. Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense because like there's like one part of the glove that's actually really close to Chicago. So yeah, I know my geography. I'm also situated
We need to get
in Toledo,
Yakko out here to talk about the geology again.
Yes, get the character's dad and just be like, this is a really long rock. Nothing suspicious. Kept in a very
that's an
conspicuous
overarching
box.
theme in Tuck and Roll is there's secrets and you don't get to find out those secrets because you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of relatable being a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of stuff that's just not relayed to you whenever you're young. And then you look back on it and you're like, oh no.
Well, it's done in Tuck and Roll because there's like really bad stuff. This isn't like, oh, we don't want to talk to you about Santa Claus because of like the majesty. This is more like there's bad stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just some bad stuff going on. Yeah. Is the fur baby getting into mischief again?
He has a brother. We adopted two.
Mm-hmm.
They were both there, and we were both just like, well, all right, I got two hands.
Well, you have to get them in pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
we had to clean them up and stuff like that because they were behind in a dumpster in a Dairy Queen.
Mm-hmm.
But they're no longer the I am wary of my surroundings and slowly exploring, and more like, how much parkour can I do off of these boxes?
Oh yeah.
Can I reenact Assassin's Creed and attack my brother from the top of this box?
Cat Assassin's Creed. Wow.
That would have been one of your you were doing the
the
cat
Inktober challenge. It was all cat themed.
Yeah, because seeing one with like the little Assassin's Creed hood.
Yep. Oh, those were so much fun to draw.
They were awesome. I loved looking at them all.
Oh, thank you.
My favorite one.
Go ahead.
I would say my favorite one is one that I actually send back and forth with my spouse, and it's the Eepy one.
Oh, I think I have that one right here. Hold on. I have my sketchbook on hand. Where are you, little Eepy? You're close. I know you are. There you are. Eepy.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so glad that you have a meme to share with your spouse.
Yeah, well, it's just like whenever one of us is really tired and just wanting to go to sleep, but and then the other one, because they're visiting family at the moment, but we'll still occasionally like play video games long distance or something.
Aw.
And they'll send me a message and they'll be like, "Hey, want to hop on the game?" And I'll just send a picture of that.
To Eepy. Delightful. Oh, for folks who might be interested in that, I actually got all of those Inktober sketches together into one book available for pre-order at crowdfunder.com/FPhilPopShop. Link in the doobly-doo as well.
That's in the shop too?
That is in the shop too. Yeah, I got pre-orders going for that book.
Okay, guys. Okay, gang. You gotta buy this book. You gotta buy. I need to.
So what we're saying is, if you would like to support Gio's habit, you need to buy copies of Tuck and Roll to justify.
Do I need to go grab all the other stuff? I've got stuff stuck to my roof here. That's what this is. This is stuff stuck to my ceiling that I get at the conventions.
I was wondering about that. I also just love the choice of putting prints up on a slated roof like that. That's great.
Well, in the attic of the mother-in-law suite is where I've decided to make my little like studio thing.
Oh, that's so nice
And
that you have like a dedicated studio room.
yeah, and I like this slanted this here because then I can put like all the works, also like any kind of like not reference works, but like just inspiration.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is from a comic from a guy. His name is Alan T. It's called here. I'll grab the. This is my phone.
Uh-huh. The wonders.
So that's from a comic called Mayor,
Ooh.
and I'm a part of his Patreon,
Mm-hmm.
and it's I love that. I would say that I wouldn't say that's an inspiration for Tuck and Roll because it's such a unique style. Where do I have my camera at now?
It can be close. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, we're a little bit off kilter now. There we go.
Aha.
But
there it goes. Yeah.
There's that. I actually also have a piece of my first physical piece of Tuck and Roll fan art.
Oh, dude, who drew that?
That is Demon Lupin.
Oh, I think I know Demon Lupin, but how did you meet Demon Lupin?
We were tabling across from each other. One at it wasn't GalaxyCon. Which convention was it?
No, I remember the person who was across from us at GalaxyCon because we shared a table at GalaxyCon that one year.
Yeah, it wasn't GalaxyCon. I'm trying to think of which table it was.
Was it Space?
Which convention was it where you were a couple tables down?
Was this in Columbus or somewhere else?
This was in Columbus. It wasn't Space.
Okay.
Because we were like next to each other at Space.
We were.
It was another convention where I was there with C3.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, now here's the part where I try to remember all the Columbus shows that I do. Oh gosh. I'd have to look at my list. Give me 1 second was it this year or last year?
I think it was last year.
Okay.
No, it was this year.
Okay. That narrows it
down. Just early this year. Because GalaxyCon was actually my first convention.
Dude, okay. I forgot about that.
Well, it was my first convention outside of being with my buddy Chad. So it was like my first like handling it on my own, so to speak. Not really, because you helped a lot. But like it was the first time when I had done it without like knowing everybody who was at the table, like as best buds.
Aw. Okay, was it the Pickerington Comics Fest?
I don't think it was that one.
Okay. Well, now I'm just blanking. But, thank you for the compliment anyways.
But, yeah, it was Demon Lupin. I met them there, and we tabled across from them, and they bought a copy of Tuck and Roll.
Oh.
And later on, they were talking to me, and they were like, "Hey, I drew you some fan art," and I was like, "This just made my entire month."
Oh, that's amazing.
But it actually made my entire year.
Little did that person know.
Yeah. I mean, also finding out I'm gonna be a dad was like one of the single greatest moments of my life this year. But
kind of overshadowed.
This was really close.
Yeah, it goes
a little bit of a tangent.
Finding out you're going to be a parent, getting fan art.
The way that my spouse let me know, though, was amazing.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm a big Buffy and Angel fan.
Go on.
I loved watching the shows as growing up. I love watching Buffy now because I didn't get to watch it so much back then because of reasons. But I was allowed to watch Angel. We'll say that.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to understand even more reasons why you left Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say no more. So big fan of Buffy and Angel.
Yes, and one of the main characters in Buffy and side character that comes in occasionally in Angel is Spike, who is played by James Masters.
Yes. Okay.
My spouse paid him to announce to me that I was going to be a dad through Cameo.
I was about to ask if this was through Cameo.
Yes. Wow. And I saved that video.
That's wow.
We're having some little technical difficulties here for a second.
Oh no.
It was just so amazing to me to have that moment, because like at first it did, like, he didn't say my name or anything, and I thought he was just like announcing a new project or something like that. Like I thought he was like, I'm gonna be in a new there's a Buffy reboot or something, and I was like tentatively like, oh, you know, that'd be fun. And then he said my name, and I'm like, what?
The face.
Like my full government. Like if he had just said my first name, I would have been like, that's an amazing coincidence. I can see why you said me. But he said the full government name, and I was like,
it's like, how did this man know?
And then he told me that I was gonna be an amazing father, and I was like, yep, that'll do it.
Oh goodness. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that was a great moment. But fan art is up there too.
Honestly, I feel like just as an outside observer, it's probably getting told by Spike, finding out you're a parent, fan art.
Yeah.
Just having Spike like address you directly, and then other stuff.
It was an amazing thing.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Also, your partner is great. You say calmly as you sip some water.
Well, I need to hydrate. Water's coming out. I gotta get water back in.
Fair enough. That's why I got tea going. Tea with some honey, to clarify.
I got McDonald's tea out of a mug because I don't want to grab the mug because it's wet. So I put it in the mug.
It took me
again. It's just my brain works in stupidly effective ways.
That's like, there was this one time when I was still living with my younger sibling, they came up with this idea of, because they were making like stovetop stuffing, and then they were like, oh, I don't want to bend over to get a pot lid, but there is a kettle right here. Whoop, punk, on top. Just use the kettle as a lid. And I'm like, really? All right. I can't even be mad. This is smart.
Well, it's got its upsides like the mug idea, and then it's got its downsides like the hood idea.
The car hood. Sometimes the ideas work, and then sometimes they are disastrous. But the disastrous ones make for fun stories.
Yep.
Speaking of fun stories, the Los asked in the chat, what else is also available in this shop? So much, buddy. So much. I mean, obviously we have copies of Tukk Rol available in English and Spanish, by the way. Although I believe Spanish is PDF only.
Yes, I haven't gotten to be able to print off any physical Spanish ones yet. I just recently got the Spanish one done.
Yeah, but that also means that any international peeps that want to get the Spanish version of Tukk Rol, you don't have to pay for shipping. So there is that. But we have physical and digital copies of Tukk Rol Part 1 available in crowdfunder.com/FVille Pop Shop. We also have pre-orders going for my Inktober sketchbook, Cats, a sketchbook. Later this week, we will have The Legend of Jamie Roberts Volume 1 and 2. The Volume 1 books are going to be from the first print run, which does have a printer error, just to give you a heads up. So they'll be marked down, but they're the final issues of the first print run. So once they're sold, they're gone forever.
Yeah, okay. So I need to make sales here so I can get Jamie Roberts issue 2.
Yeah.
Because I've already got Jamie Roberts issue 1, and I love reading it.
So what y'all need to do, those of you who are watching this live or on the replay, is you need to head over to Crowdfunder and support Tukk Rol so that Geo can justify buying some stuff from the shop. Or
it's
yeah.
It's a closed system economics.
Semi-closed.
I make comics so I can sell comics to buy more comics.
Isn't that the real reason why any of us get into making indie comics in the first place? So that we can just make stuff to sell stuff to buy more comics. It's a circle. We got those and for
I need to get a definite page count on how many pages Tukk Rol is, because I know it's close to 200.
It's a lot of pages.
It's like 190. It's like a graphic novel. It's thick.
I think this is like the beefiest book that we have available in the shop. I will let you know that now. Like this has the highest page count of all of the books that are available. But you get a lot of bang for your buck that way. So there's that going for you. Other stuff. I did highlight these earlier, but I'll highlight them again. We do have these tote bags available now. These were designed by Gregory Holmes. Very, very, very cool. We got these in neutral as well as in black. I really like how it pops on the black.
I have to say I think I like the neutral tone better.
Really?
Personally. Yeah.
All right. Well,
it's got more of that like Japanese art aesthetic to it, I guess you would say.
Oh, it does. Yeah. That was a big influence on this one. I mean, these are ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is great. Yeah.
Although the black and white on the left one reminds me of like Junji Ito's works. A lot of how he uses a lot of blacks to make everything else darker, and then like uses.
Yeah, the stark colors. Yeah, I do really like how he uses like stark shadows for stuff. Also, it's funny that you brought up GalaxyCon because we actually have some of Junior's books available in the shop now. We have Gwynny the Goblin in Hourly available now. This is in color, although the color palette is somewhat limited. It's all like purple hues.
Oh,
I love it. This was drawn for Hourly Comic Day, but it's their interpretation of Hourly Comic Day. So I
think I remember seeing them working on that.
Yeah, they posted this on Instagram, and then they brought it into book form. So if you would like the book edition, that is available now. Link on the screen and in the doobly-doo. So yeah, I really like this though. Like this was a very sweet story because it talks about Hourly Comic Day from the angle of what does it mean to participate when you struggle with the concept of time as a neurodivergent person. So good stuff. And then we also have The Divine Intervention. This is probably my favorite work of theirs. The Divine Intervention.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
I love the water paint style with it.
Yes. Let me flip open to this is a good indication of the kind of art style that they have for this book. Oh, there we go. Trying to take advantage of the lighting, and the lighting is just like meh. Oh yeah, this one's even better. Look at this.
Yeah.
The aesthetic, the vibe. I am here for it. Yes. So we got that available in the shop as well. And just gonna highlight Tuck and Roll again. Y'all need to justify Gio's habit and get his book.
The fuel. That's the fuel. See, you see.
Yeah.
The black and white speckles is signifying of the coal and how this is the fuel for me to get other work.
And here I thought,
especially now that there's the divine intervention in there, I gotta get that.
Yeah. So what y'all need to do is buy Tuck and Roll so that we can justify.
So I can get the ramen book.
Yeah. Well, the ramen bag.
I can get the ramen bag, and then I can put all the books in the ramen bag.
Yeah. Yeah, just gonna throw that out there, y'all. The ramen bag is like the perfect size to house everything that we have available in the shop right now. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We also have like a bunch of other stuff. I also just want to highlight. I highlighted this in a short, but I want to just bring it up here. My husband is a space alien.
That as well. I saw that and I loved it. I love the aesthetic of the cover and stuff like that.
I love the cover art. This is so good. Mm-hmm. It's also just an adorable story. It's like I Dream of Jeannie, but aliens, and they're gay. That's really all you need to know about this one. But it's so good. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I already highlighted this one a couple of different times, so I won't talk too much about it. But yeah, so what we're saying is that y'all need to get Tuck and Roll because not just to justify the habit, but also because this is as far as the other offerings go, this is actually really good as like an all ages story for y'all to read. Like, not saying there aren't other all ages stories, but if you're looking for all ages reads, this is a good choice. We also have this available in Spanish and in digital and print format. So if you don't want to contend with shipping, you have options to get this book.
Yep.
Yes. We wanted to make sure that we covered bases with our international peeps as well. Because surprisingly, I have a fair number of people who support my stuff that are based in the UK and Germany. Yeah. It's funny that you brought up that you translated Spanish version because you saw a lot of your Tuck and Roll readers were from Mexico. I'm thinking about maybe doing German editions because a lot of my readers are based in Germany.
Ooh, so, that'd be awesome.
That would be neat. I
Jamie
would have
Roberts
in German, which is funny because one of the like extras in chapter 1 speaks in German.
So yeah, so that's the fun thing about localization is that you'd have to like probably change what they say into possibly a different language. Oh yeah, I would have to work with like a localizer to get this translated because it has been entirely too long since I took German. I only know some basic phrases, and none of them are in The Legend of Jamie Roberts. Yeah, ich spreche nur ein bisschen as well. Yeah. It's been a minute. Nur ein bisschen. Fair enough. Meanwhile, the Los is like, en español muy bueno. Sí. Sí. Oh, I need to practice my Spanish again. But Duolingo changed its thing. It's been over a year since I used Duolingo, but I keep hearing that they keep changing their format, and I'm just not going to bother with it anymore. I prefer just throwing myself into like a restaurant and then just embarrassing myself by speaking broken Spanish until I get it right. Yeah, you have mentioned a few times that you're the kind of person that's just like, let me hit my head against the wall. Eventually I'll figure it out. Yeah, so the Spanish I know, I can speak it. I can't read it or write it. Fair. But I can speak it. Yeah. I can say my order at a restaurant. I can say what somebody else wants. There you go. I can ask where the bathroom is. Yeah. Just necessities because it's stuff that I ran my head against the wall until I said it right. To just be like, baño? Baño? Eh? I'm pretty sure that's bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah. Pescado con muchos dientes. Because you forget the word for shark. So you just say fish with lots of teeth.
Mucho dientes.
Muchos dientes. No me gusta.
But yeah, that's the fun I've had with getting Tukk and Rol translated, is having to like. Well, I wouldn't say just translated, because I think you might have to encounter that as well with Jamie Roberts with the more nautical terms and such.
Yeah.
Is like there's slang and like terms that don't translate the same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I can't like slang like back in like the early 2000s. Let's all go hang.
Yeah.
Literally translated has a different connotation in a different language.
It does. Yeah. 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 And some languages don't even call it hanging. It'll be like the rough equivalent of like, let's go pick flowers or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Where flowers is a euphemism for something. Or something.
But and like I said with the whole Rol situation, where Rol's full name is, well, in the Portuguese edition, Rol's full name is Roliche, because Rola means something naughty.
Yeah.
And I felt it'd be kind of weird if the teacher was doing roll call and then just looked at Rol and just called her a bad name.
Yeah.
That's like Bobby, Billy, Beatrice, Dingus.
Yeah. Well, if it helps you feel any better, turns out Castle in the Sky is not called Castle in the Sky over in Spain. Because the Castle in the Sky in canon in the movie is called La Puta, but in Spanish that translates to whore. So they had to rename it for the Spanish edition.
Could you imagine seeing, if you're like from Spain, or you're like had like the Spanish, like you only knew Spanish, and you just like looked at like the English like posters and you're just like, what?
Yeah. Or like, you know, the weirdness of like being a native English speaker and looking at a foreign language film and seeing that they sprinkled in English in places, but they do it in the weirdest ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is especially a thing in anime from like the 80s and the 90s. You just see the kind of English that they choose, and you're like, why is that there? I guess it's très chic. Yeah. Oh, Arch of Winter brought up, happens in the same language from different places too. Scooby-Doo is Shaggy in the UK. I did not know this.
Oh, I can see why.
Okay.
Because in the UK, that's a different, that has a totally different connotation.
Yeah, the context. It took me a second, but yeah, I get it. I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the name change.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like in Portuguese, Rola is naughty.
Yeah, we don't have to go into any further about that, but that is the struggle with localizations.
Especially because with the names, I wanted to go with names that they just sounded vaguely like they were from a given area, but not like actual names.
Yeah.
But Rol's the Portuguese name is actually Italian. It's
okay.
Italian for sweets or something like that.
Oh.
But I wanted to base her name off of that for the original, so I named her Rola.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Portuguese one, it's going to be changed to Roliche because.
Yeah. But would Roliche get off that same idea of the name should translate to like sweet or something like sweet?
I don't. It doesn't. From what I talked with the translator, it doesn't relate the same way.
Okay.
But I guess if an Italian speaker read the Portuguese version, they would read Roll's name as meaning sweets.
This is the confluence of international readership. It's perfect. So, okay, we've been going for almost an hour and a half now. It's been like an hour and 20 minutes, which hot dang, I know, right? Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. If anybody has any questions that they would like to ask our lovely guest, Gio, feel free to post them in the comments. While we're waiting on questions, I'll go ahead and plug that we are having this one-on-one chat because we are highlighting his book, Tukk Rol Part 1.
I didn't know.
Yeah. It's almost like that's why I brought you on the stream or something.
I thought you just wanted to talk to me.
And I also wanted to talk to you, and I wanted to highlight your book. Yes, Tukk Rol Arc 1 by Blake Gio Matthias is available now in our Fantasyville holiday pop-up shop, which is at crowdfunder.com/FVille Pop Shop. Link on the screen and in the doobly-doo. Yes, we have this in print and digital and Spanish versions. So, yes, we have that, and we have done a bunch more stuff. Like, I know I highlighted these tote bags already, but I'll go ahead and highlight the tote bags again. We also have prints by Chloe Rose, but you can just watch the previous live stream to get views of those. That's on my YouTube channel. Link
those prints were really cool, too, the VTuber prints. I was there for that part of the stream.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, the VTuber prints were done with Copic and colored pencil, and I'm just like, I am inspired and I want to use both now. Like both in the
Were you like using both hands too? Is that just adding to
No, that's a different art challenge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be an entire art challenge for like a month in and of itself, is to just marker in one hand, colored pencil in the other, and just go at it.
Oh, no. Sketch in one hand, ink in the other.
Ooh. That's like, there was a zine I saw at Yumicon once where it was like, the characters of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I drew them with my left hand. It was beautiful. Because this person was right-handed and they drew with their offhand, and it was like the most beautiful saucy squiggles that you had ever seen put into zine form. This is why I love
Isn't that just a lot of the JoJo Bizarre Adventures characters, though?
It's a lot of them. A lot of them
the
are
most
in these,
beautiful
like...
saucy squiggle you've ever seen.
Yes. The left stand, you might say. A page and switch. Gasp. Yes. We got some good comments going off right now. Thank you, chat. Ooh, question for you. Because I know that you mentioned, you know, you got a baby coming along the way, so you might not be going to as many conventions next year, but if you could only go to one or two, what would be your top two picks?
Really cool Comic-Con, because I love the excuse to say that I'm going to like a Disney extra convention.
Perfect.
No, it's actually a really good convention. I love going to it. They're always on the ball with setup and everything, and they've only gotten bigger. My first convention I ever went to, period, was with my buddy Chad, and it was to that convention.
Nice.
And it was like their first time that they had it, and it was. I haven't been to other conventions. The first one, it was an awesome convention, and they didn't have any like cool signage or anything like I've seen in other conventions. Like they didn't have any banners or anything like that. It was just come into this old ice hockey rink and buy comic books.
Yeah. I've been to shows like that.
And it was amazing. And then the second one I went back to was just as amazing.
Nice.
But they had like banners and stuff like that, and they had AC better and concessions, and I was like, wow, they really upped the ante.
Yeah. It's like they saw the success of the first year, and then the venue was like, okay, we'll turn on the AC, I guess.
Right. So I would go to Really Cool Con, and then I would go to Motor City Nightmares.
I've not heard of this one. What is this one?
That one was a awesome convention. I went there with my buddy Chad Perkins.
Co-creator of Sparkle Dog.
Yes. We were there selling Sparkle Dog, actually, because Sparkle Dog is a horror comic.
You would never suspect from the name Sparkle Dog, but I'm picturing it as like there was like those t-shirts that have like a bunch of band names on the back to showcase who's going to be at what venue. Somebody posted something for that for like heavy metal bands, and all of them have like that, stereotypical heavy metal, like it looks like branching tree branches gnarled and twisted and stuff. And then there was one that looked like party balloons. And it's like, you know what? They knew what they were doing.
They're standing out.
Yeah.
People are going to read that one.
Yeah. I am imagining Sparkle Dog is the comics equivalent at horror conventions of that.
Yeah. It's more Lisa Frank than like stark colors and like color isolation, like instead of like, oh, there's not much color except for the reds. It was more like, how much saturation can I fit on a page? Can I embody Lisa Frank?
I really want to read this comic now because I want to see this challenge.
And it was really just also the idea of turning on its head the Cthulhu. Oh, I'm going to drive you insane with like mathematics, and I'm a tentacle body. That's going to make you go insane. It was more like, what if it just blasted you with so much cuteness you went insane?
Perfect.
And like its version of cuteness, its version in like, instead of like the gore of like, oh, I'm going to get my torso split open. It's more like, what if I ripped open your stomach and pulled a candy cane out? Haha, that's funny, isn't it? You're still dying, but I got a candy cane.
Yeah. Perfect.
So yeah, that's the.
We have a reader giving testimony. The Legend of Sparkle Dog is definitely an interesting read.
Yep.
Actually, we got a question from Askaroth. They asked, question for both, so it's for you and me. If you were at a con, what snacks would you like to be bribed with? We'll start with you. What snacks would you like to be bribed with?
I'm. What was it say? Yeah, okay. I'm stereotypically Greek, so anything tzatziki sauce dippable. Anything I could dip into some tzatziki, I'm good with. But something. Hey there, little buddy. This is the brother, Umbra.
Oh, hi! I want to get a better look at you, little buddy.
He decided he's coming up here to join us.
Aww.
But surprisingly, something that I found that I brought to it was that same convention. It was the one where I tabled with Javier Lavagnino.
That's a new name to me, so I'm not sure.
He's a part of the C3, and he does Hex in the West, which is another great book.
New to me. I still need to read that. Making a note in my little brain book. There we go.
But something that I brought as a snack there, just like on a whim, is gooseberries. And I found I really like gooseberries. So.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, if people find a way to smuggle it in, you can absolutely bribe me with blueberries. because I go ham on blueberries if given the chance to. If given the chance, I will eat an entire pint by myself and feel no shame. I love
That's
blueberries.
your Haagen-Dazs?
That's my Haagen-Dazs, is blueberries.
You just got a Haagen-Dazs bottle and everybody's like, oh, and you just open up and there's just blueberries.
It's blueberries. This is especially fitting because I am lactose intolerant, so even better to hide a bunch of blueberries inside of a little Haagen-Dazs pint. Yes, so if you find a way to smuggle that into a convention, absolutely, I will go ham, and I will give you whatever you want off of my table. Barring that, most conventions that I have been to will have French fries in some capacity, so that is also a very good bribe me with food. Because who says no to potatoes?
True.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Like if you cut potatoes...
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yeah. If you cut potatoes out of your diet, it is proven that you will be 80% more miserable. You will lose 80% of your will to live if you cut potatoes out of your diet. Yeah. So yeah,
or nachos. Nachos are good too.
Yeah, I know that I mentioned being lactose intolerant, but I can handle some cheeses. But like nachos with cheese on top and bacon bits, if they have it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey buddy, you can't eat the cable.
Oh, buddy. Oh. Are they an all black cat?
No, he's got a little white locket on his chest.
Oh, hi, buddy. Oh, goodness.
Their big sister, which is the cat that I've owned for about 4 years now, is an all black cat.
Aw.
And her name is Gamork. She is named after the beast from Neverending Story.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because when we first got her, there was a storm going on outside, and our neighbor, one of the little girls who was one of our neighbors, came over and was like holding this ball of snot and fluff, and was just like, "This was in my playhouse, and my mom says we can't have it." And I was like, "Come to me, little snot ball."
Oh, baby.
But I have a picture of her when because she would always like sleep inside of my jacket or inside of like pants leg something. And I have a picture of her, and it's just like the shadows, and she's got eye boogies, and but she looks like the image of the Gamork from Neverending Story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we knew her name was going to be Gamork.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, that's such a great origin story for that cat. Bri also had nose problems when we first adopted her. We adopted her when she was maybe like 4 or 5 weeks old, when she was still really, really little. And she had a sinus infection, and we had to give her medicine, and she was not keen on that, and she would try to hide. But she was really easy to spot because we would just go into my younger sibling's room, because that was where we were keeping the kittens, and we would be like, "Hold on, Bri's hiding. Everybody quiet." And then we would hear wherever she was hiding just because she sounded like a kazoo every time she exhaled. And we'd be like, "Okay, where's the kazoo? There she is." Oh, going back to potatoes. Even people allergic to potatoes love potatoes. Too many people that are allergic to them just assumed we all suffered for the starchy goodness. Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to suffer for some dairy goodness. Like, I love pizza. I mean, pizza half the time does not love me, but I love pizza. It's great. Or like sour cream. I love sour cream, especially whenever it's made into some kind of a sauce, but it does not love me.
Yeah, my spouse particularly loves potatoes. They have this weird concoction that they make with potatoes that involve other potatoes. I think it's called poutine or something.
I know poutine.
But it's like mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And then like French fries.
Yeah.
In
With
the mashed
gravy on
potato.
top. Yeah. Yeah. I know poutine.
And I'm like my taste bud brain, my tongue brain, my mouth, my stomach is just like, that is good.
Yeah. I think if you're allergic, you want it more. I'm allergic to tomatoes. Yeah. It's like I have a cousin allergic to cucumbers, but she loves cucumbers. But she can't eat them.
I only recently found out I'm allergic to oranges and just thought that they were painful. Like pineapples are painful. But I love to eat oranges and I would just like eat it and it would just burn. And I'm just like, oh, it's like spicy. And it was only recently, I think I was like talking with my buddy Rashid. I was eating an orange and I was like, oh, they're spicy, spicy oranges. And he's like, dude, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oranges, they're spicy, right? And I'm like, my eyes are watering. I'm like, yeah, they're spicy, right? And he's like, dude, no, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oranges, they're spicy. And then he grabbed an orange and he's like, did you get like spicy oranges? I'm like, no, all oranges are spicy.
And that's when you learned.
Yeah, and he was like, no, dude, you just have like an allergy. And I was like, no, dude, they're spicy. And he was like, have you eaten like lemons and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, they're spicy too. They're spicy and sour. And he's like, no, you have like a citrus allergy, my dude.
Surprise.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's surprising.
Yeah, it's like I found out I found out the hard way that I have a sensitivity to bananas. Because anytime I eat bananas, I'm like, my tongue is itchy. That's not normal. So I just stopped eating bananas.
I would think that I would know if like something was up with bananas because bananas have such a light taste, I would say.
Yeah, it's like mashed potatoes but in stick form.
Yeah, and it's like slightly sweet mashed potato.
Yeah, it's the best way to describe bananas for anybody who has never eaten a banana. They are
everything comes back to mashed potatoes. Everything comes back to potatoes.
Everything comes back to potatoes.
This is potato fruit. This is mashed potato fruit.
Yes. Get this spud of a potato. Get this spud so we can buy more potatoes.
Potatoes and comics.
Potatoes and comics. Everything comes back to potatoes and comics.
That's the life for me.
It's like pirates, but instead of like rum and coke, it's potatoes and comics. Ascend to potato. Mwah. All right. So we have been going for about an hour and 40 minutes. Holy dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think now would be a good point to wrap this up also because I really need to have some dinner. Speaking of potatoes. Potatoes? Yes. We've been talking about potatoes. I'm having au gratin
potatoes for dinner, so
ooh.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. Yes. We should wrap this up so we can each get to our respective potatoes.
The potatoes are calling me.
The potatoes. Oh. They have eyes on me. Because they have eyes on the never mind. Anyway, Fantasyville pop-up shop.
Yeah, lots of great stuff. Really great stuff. Stuff yes. I'd like to get, and I can only get if you get
Tukk Rol Arc 1. It is available in print and digital, and in the digital version we have English and Spanish. So there you go. Enticing, bang for your buck, and it's all in color. This is also the beefiest, chunkiest book that we have available in the shop right now. So Link for that is on the screen and in the doobly-doo, and we are paying.
Umber says buy Tuck and Roll.
Oh,
Hold on.
baby, I want
For the promo.
For the promo, yes. Oh, perfect.
There we go. Little Umber. He doesn't want to be held like that.
Oh no, but that's okay. It's baby. Yes.
He's okay. You can go right there. You can't go on the camera though.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to be on camera, let him be on camera. We got to pay the cat tax to the internet gods.
Okay, there you go.
Hi, baby. Aw.
Okay, he found a hair or something.
Oh, okay.
He's gone.
That's okay. The Los is chunky boy. Also Askaroth asked, what of potato skin sliders? I'm assuming like the potato sliders, like you get the half potatoes that are like baked and covered in like sour cream. And hi, baby. Oh.
Don't attack the little Kelsey. He saw the little Kelsey in the screen and was like, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them.
Oh, baby. I wish I could give this baby all of the scritchies. Oh, that was my sorry. I heard a thing knock over. I thought it was my own cat, but it's not. It's a back brace that I have. We're fine. It's all good. Oh, well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and watching. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching or rewatching. I would also like to thank Gio for coming on. Thank you so much, Gio, for hanging out with us for like an hour and 45 minutes. And talking about
Thank you for talking to me for an hour and 45 minutes on potatoes.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about way more than potatoes.
I can talk about potatoes for an hour. No.
We spend the next
seriously,
2 hours.
Thank you for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Happy to have you back. If ever you want to stream again, just hit me up and let me know.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. We will definitely talk it over when we're off stream. Yeah.
We can talk about potatoes and sometimes comics.
Yeah. Talk about potatoes and comics the next live stream that we do. Be sure to subscribe and get notifications for that so we can talk about comics and potatoes and maybe comics about potatoes. I'm sure those exist.
There's a comic about Pop-Tarts.
There is a comic about Pop-Tarts. Melancholy Evil Pop-Tart is available at crowdfunder.com/FVille Pop Shop. And we're actually going to talk with the writer and artist of Melancholy Evil Pop-Tart tomorrow on stream at 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. So subscribe for that.
The perfect segue.
Perfect segue. So I'm so glad that you brought that up. So Tukk and Roll Arc 1 and Melancholy Evil Pop-Tart and a ton of other stuff is all available at the first ever Fantasyville holiday pop-up shop. That is at crowdfunder.com/FVille Pop Shop. Link on the screen and in the doobly-doo. So thank you everybody hanging out in the chat with us. Thank you, Gio. And what were your fur babies' names again? We got Dune and
Dune, Umbra, and Gamork. Gamork did not make an appearance. Gamork likes to rest after dealing with the 2 kittens.
Yeah, I get that. Bree is the same when dealing with Mooney because there's a big age gap between the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but thank you, Dune and Umbra, for your little fur baby appearances as well. Give them lots of scritchies for me.
I will.
Awesome. All right. Thank you all so much. Do all the YouTube things and check out our shop. And be sure to check out Gio's comic, Tukk and Roll. Thank you all so much for watching. You are awesome.